If you are starting at a new role and you want to try and find leads completely from scratch, you've got no previous data, you're basically just starting completely from zero.
Yeah.
How would you go about finding your first top 3 customers?
Okay, cool. Could you give me a little bit more context? When you say we have no data, what do you mean by no data?
Potentially just starting from scratch. I've not purchased anything from, like, I've got ample market to reach out to people.
Yeah.
But if I was looking for my first 3 clients,
Good question. All right. So if we put this in the context of, are you starting for a business or is this like for somebody else's business that's starting from scratch?
starting my own business.
Okay, cool. If you've got your own business, well, what I've done historically is I've gone to people that I've worked with when I've been under a different umbrella. So perhaps, Matt, if you were a coaching client, if Kirsten was an SDR leader, or if Suzanne was somebody at RevOps that I did a bit of work with Ethereum, those are the people that I hit up. And the way that I go into this is by saying, "Hi, Matt, it's Neil. I've recently launched my own business, HappySelling." And I give a quick statement as to what specifically is I'm doing. So it's I'm helping sales leaders and their teams build pipeline, or I'm helping people that are struggling with outbound. And what I'm looking to find out is, do you know anybody in your network that would benefit from that? So it's not do you want to buy it, but do you know anybody in your network that could benefit from that? And to be honest, probably 80% of those people will say, and this has happened to me as well, don't know anyone, but I'll keep your name on file. Great. But what I would do is after sending that message, send them a one pager with the outcomes of working with somebody like you and the problem statements. Because again, a lot of people do hit them up, but if you have it visually, that will make you more memorable. So go to people that you've previously worked with, had some sort of success. The second lot is people that you have worked with, like Kirsten, you may have seen it in the DMs. Kirsten, I'm focusing on more happy selling stuff this year. Do you know anybody that would benefit from coaching, or would you like to pick this back up? So I do ask that question to people that I have had direct relationships with to see if they would come up. And the third point is post the hell out of that stuff on LinkedIn. Let people know that that's what you're doing, what you offer, and to have a chat with you. So that's what I'd put in, Matt. How does that land, sir?
No, really good. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any tips on Matt? So if he's launching his own business, where to find his first 3 customers? Has anybody
I
got
do.
any? Essie, hit us.
Can you actually go out looking for people, or is it all on the phone?
It'll all be online. Don't think there's going to be many clients in Turkey at the moment.
Okay, fair. No, I was going to say strategic networking. Where could you do it online? Online networking. So go to events where you know that your subject is going to be on the agenda, but not your exact pain point that you solve, and then ask a question that you know the host won't know the answer to, and then you can answer. And then people are like, oh, that's interesting. And then they'll start a conversation with you afterwards.
Okay, that's good to know.
And Essie, could you like give us example of that question you could ask, or like to give a bit more context?
So in my industry, when people talk about equality, diversity, and inclusion, they're never talking about disability. So I know if I go to an EDI event, then I can be the expert in the room on disability inclusion. So let's say it's a panel discussion, or they've delivered a talk, questions. So I raise my hands and ask them a question that it's quite easy to answer, but pretty much can guarantee that they won't know. But I know that my target audience needs to know the answer to. And then they'll be like, I'm not sure. Oh, I think it's this. And then I say, can I share my opinion? And then quite often I've got quite a few meetings off the back of just doing those kind of things.
I love that. Thank you. Matt, does that help?
Really helpful.
And I'll give an example of how I've done that recently using Essie's like guidance, where I was reaching out to a bunch of SDR leaders last week saying, do their teams need coaching? And the majority of them, Matt, just said, nah, we're all covered. And then my follow-up question was, who's your coach? And that got a few conversations because they themselves didn't have a coach that helps our SDR managers. I'll be honest, nothing has progressed since last week, but it is a question that I follow up if I get the no.
Okay.
Cool. And Matt, we'll come back to you in a moment. Maybe a question to the audience that we could put. What is it Matt looking to offer? How could he help and who could be a good one? Be happy to give a little short bit on that later if that's cool with you.
Amazing. Thank you very much.